Mm. Ooh-wee. Welcome to Vino Entertainment TV. What it do, y'all? What it do? What it do? Hey, Vino Entertainment TV, we talk about firearm violence, domestic violence, being violated. We feed the unfortunate. We give them clothing as well. Hey, Vino Entertainment TV is all the way around. You catch on my community wall on my post. I have missing person, children, elderly, people, period. I have good motivational things on my community wall. Yeah, check it out. Also, check out CK Laser Generation. If you don't mind, go over there to subscribe, please. You'll be appreciated. And also check out Hood Talk, that boy DC. Yeah, we're going to get you up in there. He's getting this channel started, and we're going to give him much support as we can. Right. But anyway, let's get started. Let me throw this disclaimer up here because, you just never know about these people out here in these streets. Right. So, how's everybody's day going by so far? I hope everybody's day is going well. Hey, it's sunny outside. Here in Texas, they're talking about a little rain. But I know it's doing a lot of snowing in California up that way. Man, it's coming down. That snow is thick. Thick'em. I ain't gonna say thick. We call them thick'em over here. Thick'em. But anyway, let's get started. So my first question is to you all. How old is too old to be driving, right? How old is too old to be driving? Me, I would say, I won't be fair about this because we know the elders ain't got nobody take them nowhere and they got to drive on their own, get there the best way. I would say around about 74, 75. That's when you probably need to stop driving. 74 to 75. I was say in the 70s, but to round it off the way I would like to round it off, I would say 74 to 75. Well, Perp, why you say that? Let's check it out. I'm going to let you know why I said it. Check it out. But y'all know what? Sometimes my recording be tripping now. Don't y'all be trying to shame me. Yep, it's still tripping, y'all. I don't know. Let me just do this right here. Let me see, can we get some understanding? Okay, there we go. We got some understanding now. Look at her. Boy, I tell you, let's go.
Were killed when a driver crashed her car into a grocery store. Camila Bernal with that video and the latest.
A chaotic scene after a car crashed into this grocery store in Los Angeles right in the middle of the day.
Car hit a lady back here and took off.
Firefighters rushing in, but unable to help at least 3 people who died on site. Officials say at least 6 others were injured, 2 of them tonight in serious condition. Video showing some of the wounded being wheeled away and others being treated right at the scene.
People were underneath the vehicle. Firefighters, again, are problem solvers. They came in, were able to remove that vehicle to make access to those patients. We called for waves of additional firefighter paramedics who render immediate medical aid.
Authorities say the driver was an elderly woman and that according to a preliminary investigation, she initially hit a bicyclist and lost control of her car, crashing into the supermarket's bakery.
This does not seem to be of any ill intent. It does not seem to be an intentional act, but rather it's being investigated so far as an accidental traffic collision.
The driver, whose identity has not yet been released, remained at the scene and, according to authorities, was cooperating with the investigation.
And with that, Camila joins us now live from Los Angeles. Camila, we can still see there's an active scene there behind you.
That's right, Tom. The car is still inside of the building, and in fact, so are investigators. We're seeing them walking around that car, taking photos, taking notes. They've also been measuring part of the scene here and analyzing this entire area. We also learned that of those killed, one of the victims was 30 years old, another 42, and another 55. Tom?
Man, y'all, that's why I asked you all, how old is too old to be driving? They said a elderly lady, but they said she hit a bicyclist and ended up going to the store and injuring, unaliving 3 more people. But my question again to you and anybody else, drop me a comment and let me know in the comment section. How old is too old to be driving? Well, you just can't function well. At a certain age, your reflexes is not so quick, right? You can't function like you want to function. You know, you're not quick in your toes like you used to be when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. Now you may be in your, they say elderly. So elderly can count from 60s to on up. But this is why I ask you all, how old is too old to be driving? Because at some point in time, we're going to have to give it up. Your vision don't be good anymore. Your reflexes, like I just said, may be a little bit slower than what they used to be. As you get older, things change. Also, at the DMV, they have some new rules, too, when you go get your new driving license when you're a certain age. You know, some of them asking for a doctor's note saying that you're able to drive. They sure are. I seen it. I saw it. I sure did. I'm like, they're putting the age limit on your driving license when you go get them. You got to be a certain age. You can be a certain age, but you got to be able still be able to function. And you're going to have a letter by your doctor saying that you can still function and get your license and things like that. And you're going to go through the normal steps as usual, like anybody else, to get your driving license. You know, the normal testing and things of that sort. Yeah, that's what I was told. And I read that. Yeah. So when you be on the road, I mean, I've seen people, y'all, I have seen elderly. When I say elderly, I don't know because they were elderly, but not because I saw gray hair. I saw the face structure too. And let me just tell you, some of these elderly people who've been in the city all their life and drove on the freeways all their lives, they be out there. Oh, they be out there pushing it to the limit. Pushing it to the limit. They be pushing it. How I know, I've seen them. I've seen one lady, I may have been in the middle lane, and I seen her in the lane next to me to the right. And she was pushing it, baby, by herself. Yes. And another thing, you see a lot of elderly people out in the morning time because the traffic flow is not so heavy. You know what I mean? But you see a lot of elderly people out there driving. I bet you a lot of your grandmothers and grandfathers are out there still driving in their 70s. But hey, who to say that 70 is old? There is really no limit on age nowadays. I've seen women 90s, 100 and something, getting around good, getting their walk on, speed walk. I ain't talking about slow poking. I'm talking about getting down walking, stretching it out, getting out there. So, again, there's really no limit as far as age nowadays because of the fact that people are living past 100. People in their 70s don't look like they're in their 70s. They may look like they're in their 60s. People in their 50s look like they're in their 40s and late 30s. The ones in their 30s look like they 40s and 50s. The ones in their 20s look like they 30 and 40s. Is the age going backwards, y'all? Is it turning over? The old looking new and the new looking old. The old looking younger and the younger looking old. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. That's what I'm seeing. What y'all recognizing out there? This is what I'm recognizing. I don't know. I'm just saying. Don't listen to me. No, I don't. Y'all know I don't know nothing. Even though I be right about a lot of stuff, and it comes out on news, we be right. But I don't be knowing that. You know, I'm just speculating, just speaking, on what I see, what I think, and and how I dissect the issue. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So let me just ask y'all, how do you feel about Sunday liquor sales? Should a liquor store even should be open on a Sunday? You know what I mean? Ask yourself, should a liquor store, I'm just hypothetically speaking, should a liquor store be open on Sundays? Now, are they selling liquor or are they selling beer? But do it really matter? Liquor store, I don't see any difference. Because right now, Mississippi House passed a pair of bills on Tuesday that would reshape the laws of surrounding sales of alcohol in Mississippi. So they did pass pass the sales of alcohol on Sundays in Mississippi. So right now they're getting sales and direct shipment of liquor to down that way. But what day do you give to the man above? No drinking, no smoking, no cursing, none of that. I thought it would be the 7th day, but I guess not. I guess the some of the wordings of the Bible don't really matter no more. But to make a sale of alcohol on Sundays, I don't like that. I don't like that. Y'all see how they push the alcohol? In the first place, they gonna start serving the alcohol on Sundays. Is in the Black communities. In the Black communities. In the Latino communities. Okay? Okay? Now, I'm not no heavy drinker, beer or liquor. I'm not. But I would take a sip here and there. I would do that. But I'm not a drinker on no Sundays or nothing like that. I might take a drink on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday. But as for a Sunday and getting out there and want to go purchase some alcohol on a Sunday, nah, that's not me. That's not my preference. But like I said, Mississippi did pass the rule to sell alcohol on Sunday. So if you know anybody in Mississippi, let them know. We can turn up on a Sunday. They don't care. But how can you sell alcohol on a Sunday? But some of these states will not legalize cannabis. But at the same time, when they're legalizing alcohol on a Sunday, those mad moms, they ain't playing with you. You better know what I'm saying. Those mad moms are not playing with you about drunk driving. Okay? Drunk driving. And when you pass alcohol on Sundays, I do believe they bring in a lot of drunk driving on Sundays. Not that it can happen any other day, but I also do the extra on Sunday because you already got full all during the weekday or whatever. Then you on a Sunday before you go to work on a Monday, you're gonna get drunk, spend your money, And to me, I really hope they don't make that much sales on Sunday to serving no alcohol in Mississippi. I hope y'all don't make $1 down there on Sunday selling that alcohol. That's bad. That's really bad. Now we got to worry about cannabis. They not too much. They worry, but they ain't worried. But they say they worry, but they ain't worried because they was worried about it. They do more what they doing. And what I mean by that is for cannabis, for people who got cerebral palsy, who can help with cancer, who can help with depression, anxiety, and things of that sort. But as far as alcohol, why would you pass alcohol on a Sunday? I don't know. That's just my thought, In Texas, they sell beer on Sundays. I don't know if you can get wine. You can get some wine on Sundays. But as far as the straight up alcohol on Sundays, that ain't happening here. If that's happening where you are in your city and state, drop me a comment and let me know what's going on down there as far as your alcohol and liquor sales in your city and state. Appreciate it. But anyway, let's carry on. But let me just go back one step to the elderly driver that ran into the store. If you all out there and you all young men and women got parents still living and they're up in the elder age, call and ask them if they need to go somewhere. Can I take you here? Can I take you there? Y'all need to start stepping up for your elderlies. Take more responsibility for the elders. Start looking out more for the elders. Instead of taking from the elders, start helping. Take more responsibility, looking out. Respecting. But anyway, let me go on. Because if y'all know me, I can start talking. That's just me, okay? But y'all, let's talk about Project Pet. Have y'all heard anything about Project Pet lately? I like Project Pet. Project Pet, he doing his thing. My bad. He's doing his thing. He is Project Pet is doing his thing. He's into God. Excuse me, y'all. Sometimes you can when you lose a child, it takes you into a whole different whirlpool. It makes you look at things differently. What's going on around you? You see what I'm saying? Let me just say it like that. Right now, they're trying to sue Project Pat, which I think is absolutely crazy. They're trying to sue him over in Tennessee. The parents filed complaints against school. I'm sorry. Tennessee parents filed a complaint against the school after Project Pat spoke to them about God and Christianity. Okay? He's getting sued again for speaking about God and Christianity. What do y'all think about that? Why would you want to sue somebody by speaking about something like that? I don't understand. I mean, I know that you ain't supposed to. They said that you ain't supposed to do certain things and say certain stuff and this, and that. But isn't he putting out the right thing? Isn't he saying the right stuff? Isn't he doing the right thing? Because of the fact that these kids nowadays, these kids don't even know what a Bible look like. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's just me just talking. But these kids don't even know what a Bible look like nowadays. Y'all hear me? You hear me? People, I remember when we was in school, we had Pledge of Allegiance, which ended up being just a whole, as I got older, it just been a big old mess about the Pledge of Allegiance. But we did that. We said things about God, in school and stuff like that. And when nobody trying to sue nobody because somebody spoke about the Lord in a certain way or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to hear about it, you can always give them what? Dismiss yourself, right? Right. So I don't know why they come at Project Pat, because he spoke his mind out about God, Christianity. You see what I'm saying? And my thing is, why would you get mad about that? So I'm thinking it's just a money play. It's a money play, y'all. Because you get sued over religion. Over religion. The Freedom from Religion Foundation. This is where Project Pat been working at and working with, is the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Man, I'll tell you, and this is happening in Haywood County Schools. Haywood County Schools. Boy, I tell y'all something else. Maybe Project Pat don't need to be down there saying not nothing going on down there. Not a word. Not nothing. Said Project Pat led a mandatory religious assembly at Haywood High School on December 5th of 2025. He reported discussed it, God, quoted the Bible, prayed with students, and passed out religious books. So I wouldn't have prayed. I probably would have made some quotes, But I don't know if I would pray with students. I would have X'd that one out. But I would have passed out some booklets. I would have did that. But as far as praying with students, I wouldn't have done that. But I would have gave quotes of the Bible, and I would have passed out religion books. But all thing I said about that is about Project Pat is keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, because because they didn't want to hear it don't mean nobody else don't want to hear it, and the next time when Project Pat, when he go out there and do stuff like that, like this right here, maybe he might have a paper, have a contract signed, so they might understand it then. But when you get done, they might, well, I think we might need to go ahead and sue about this and that, whatever. So maybe a Project Pat need to have a contract from now on. Get himself together, get his documents and everything in order, so when he go out to speak about God and give booklets out and pray for kids, it won't come up to be sued in a situation like this right here. You see what I'm saying? But let's check out what this lady said about Project Pat. Let's see here. One moment. Boy, I tell you, I hate that. And y'all, I keep telling y'all, I don't know what be wrong with my I don't know what be wrong with my speaker, y'all. I swear to God, my speaker, y'all.
Lost his 21-year-old son on January 10th. There's a lot to the story. Let's talk about it. Now, everybody knows Project Pat, also an icon himself. Project Pat has still been working. Now, this was 3 years ago, but you see, even just in the 2020s, Project Pat's looking good. He's looking healthy, new teeth. He's got money. He looks safe. And you would think that his children will also be in a safe position. But they found his son in a park. Let me get you the details. This is an article I took from Look It's Jay on YouTube, and it is a clip from a Fox News article. 21-year-old Patrick Houston Jr. passed away in Imogene Heights shooting on January 10th. He was the son of Project Pat. The shooting happened around 1:15 in Cherjean Park, close to the intersection of Ketchum Road and Long Street. The Memphis police said Houston passed away in the scene of the shooting. Now, this was January 10th, and as of January 23rd, nobody has been apprehended. Nothing about the shooter has been released. We have not found him. Now, Project Pat is still working. You know, he's the brother of Juicy J. And you got right here 500K plus views 2 weeks ago, him doing a studio, you know, so he's still very much relevant in the culture. 500,000 views ain't nothing to sneeze at on YouTube. And Project Pat is also known for doing a lot of good in his community and working on prison reform. So this is somebody you would think that him and his children in the community would be vastly protected. And that's not what happened. But when I went down to the comments, because I said there's not a lot about this, let me see what I can research, and I found this down in the comments. Some people wrote down in the comments speaking that knew him, and somebody said, Wendy, covered by the blood of Jesus, hallelujah. Bro, this dude helped me with my orders every day here at Nike. He was such a sweet kid. He stayed to himself, and everyone loved him. No one knew who his dad was until they told us he passed. Never even said a word. Every time I go onto the 3rd level to get my boxes, I smell his cologne and smile. That sent me to glory. I said, oh, this is just a regular person living a regular life. I wonder if he was getting robbed. I wonder if he was getting hated on. He's got a job down to the Nike, so I'm going to say allegedly, I don't think he was in any kind of street stuff. I don't know. I'm sure it's all going to come out later. And then this comment at the end. Marcello Bands 7325 said, nah, the ish that Project Pat did for the community and for the prison system, he doesn't deserve that at all. So they're both saying, hey, these are people of the community. The son was like a young man, 21 years old. He's got a job at Nike. That sounds very, very...
Okay. Let me just say this. I can see why Project Pat is doing what he's doing. This man has been through a lot. When you lose a kid, that is a big trauma to you. That is so hurtful. People say this and this and that, this and this and that. Now, why you still in pain? It's been this long. People don't know what nobody feel when it comes down to losing your kid. People can say whatever they want. So what Project Pat is doing, he's changed his life into doing something meaningful. And here we see a little smile on Project Pat's face. You know, there may be a smile that he's happy to doing what he's doing. He's happy to be out there spreading the word out to people. And this also may be a way, an out way for him from being depressed, about getting out there, spreading the word, giving pamphlets, giving Bible quotes. This would make him comfortable, happy. This would maybe taking away his tears, depression, anxiety, the sadness. Nobody knows. But by him delivering, giving out handbooks and praying and things like that, I didn't find anything wrong with it. But again, when things like that come around again, Project Pat just need to have he just need to have a contract. I think he need to have a contract. When he go into to do things like this for prison or schools or whatever. I think that he need to. Yeah, he needs a contract, so that way he won't get caught up. He needs somebody else on his team, so he won't get caught up. That's just my thought. I mean, I don't know, but like I said, when you lose a kid, you just never know. You don't know. You don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know. And like I said, this may be his outlook, his outweigh of his happiness, of finding happiness for himself, because Project Pat looking pretty good there. Looking pretty good, Project Pat. But anyway, he listened to me. But yeah, when you lose someone, I'm telling you, it take you through a whole different world. You've been a different world by yourself. When you really, really lose that person, and they really make an impact on you, man, let me go on. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. So I understand why he's giving those booklets out. He's trying to save a life, because his son's life was taken. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of understand this a little bit. Let's go to a commercial break, y'all. Man, Project Pat is on my mind, y'all. On my mind. Man, dang, that's crazy. Let me check something, y'all. Let me check my volume. Let me check my volume on here. Let's go to the next story. Should we? Yes, we shall. But anyway, man, y'all. Again, I'm gonna tell you this again. When you leave home, I always say, talk to you later. Give you kisses. I love you. Your hugs. Whatever that you may need to give to let a person know that you love them. And you can't wait to see them when they come back. You know what I'm saying? A figure ice skater was unalive just by sitting in the drive-thru. This world is really scary. I don't know. It scares me going to the restaurants now. It scares me by going to the stores. It scares me by even just standing outside. You know what I'm saying? These people are out their freaking mind. Do you understand me? But see, sometimes somebody's at fault somewhere, and sometimes nobody's at fault. When it's a medical thing, nobody's at fault. But this right here, this is ridiculous. St. Louis, you all got to do a little better than what you're doing there. You are the ones that had the loose monkeys on the loose. Y'all was the one telling people, don't touch the monkeys. They might be some sickly monkeys, or might be able to hurt you, things of that sort. St. Louis, I done put y'all in the crowd in the same clone with North Carolina, South Carolina, California. Good Lord. After a while, Texas gonna be up in the same group with all you all. My goodness. Man, let's check it out. Man. I hope the recorder works this time. It be tripping. I don't know what be going on. Yep. That's it.
Tonight, the figure skating community is mourning the sudden and shocking loss of Sam Linehan, a synchronized skater who competed on the national stage turned coach in Missouri.
It's just hard to see somebody so kind and passionate and loved by so many people to be taken away.
The 28-year-old was on the way to meet friends to watch the Olympics, according to Linehan's partner, and stopped at a Starbucks drive-thru. That's what investigators say. Linehan was gunned down in the car around 10 a.m. Tuesday by this man, seen on surveillance in a neon safety vest and hard hat. 58-year-old Keith Brown, now behind bars and held on no bond, demanded she raise her hands before he shot and killed her. He stole bank cards and her driver's license, according to court documents. Authorities say the brazen shooting earlier this week followed two other daytime robberies that Brown's accused of on February 8th and the 6th. St. Louis Metro Police saying,
"We did not know that there was a pattern with this person until after the shooting occurred at the Starbucks."
Brown, a convicted felon who absconded while on parole, pleading not guilty today to charges including first-degree murder, as the victim's family and friends are faced with the unfathomable.
It's left a big hole in our family here.
Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
I'm quiet. How in the hell did y'all drop the ball, St. Louis? This the same man been in two other robberies before this one happened and took this lady's life. My thing is, why in the heck you tell her to raise her hand and you still gonna pew her? I'm sick of you people. I'm so sick of you dang on people. I don't know what the dog gonna do. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all make me sick. She was just there in line to get her something real quick before she went to go watch the Super Bowl game. I'm sorry. Before she watched the Olympics. I'm sorry. And you got this non-working. See, this is what non-working people would do when they think your shit is their shit. Excuse my French. Why would you shoot this lady? She had her hand up, gave you everything that you wanted, that you asked for. She did it. She did a drive-through. She did that. Everything you asked, she did. Driving license, credit cards. She did everything you asked to do. She even raised her hand. And you still had the audacity to shoot her. I fought St. Louis Police Department. Y'all pathetic. Pathetic. You didn't realize of the coincidence of the three robberies, of the two robberies to the third robbery until the third robbery happened and the shooting. They didn't say that the first two robberies was pewed at or got unalive. But this lady here, what made him want to pew her and not the others? I'm sad. That broke my heart. That hurt me a little bit. Because it wasn't right. It wasn't right. I just hate that this world think that violence is the number one way. That thing firearm is your number one way. That man had to do that. And to let you know, that lady was a Caucasian lady. And that man was a black man. And they said he had work that green, that vest on and stuff. Like a workman's vest. No, he wasn't hitting a damn lick. The only lick he was trying to lick up on and get was a robbery and steal something from somebody and take and unalive somebody. These people really get on my nerve. They get on purpose nerve, y'all. They really do. They can't find nothing else better to do. But let me go ahead and get started, though, because, you know, I start. Start running my mouth, y'all. as always. But y'all know what? That'd be a good thing sometime. You know what I'm talking about? I be knowing a little bit. I know a little something. A little something. If I don't know nothing about it, I'm not going to talk about it. You feel me? If I know something about it, I'm going to talk about it. If I've been there, I'm going to talk about it. If I've halfway been there, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Yeah. What about our number one man? My number one man, John Cena. I like John Cena, y'all. John Cena has been treated for skin cancer. This man, he had skin cancer twice. Both spots were removed. One on his chest, one on his shoulder, y'all. They're saying that the skin cancer diagnosis revealed he had cancer spots removed from his right pec and near his shoulder, resulting from years of neglecting sunscreen while living in Florida and beachside. But they tell y'all about that sunscreen. You know, some African American people wear sunscreen. My mom had to wear sunscreen. Her nose, because she had lupus, and she had to put it on her nose and stuff. So when she go out, she had to wear this hat over her head, on her head to kind of cover her nose up so the sun won't kind of like, you know, beam down to it. But yeah, he was also physically declined due to decades in the ring. He had a lot of damages. His body was struggling, noting he could not perform a full-time captivity. Captivity, I can't say y'all. Captivity anymore. Yeah. So I don't know. Then he had chronic pain. He was suffering long-time injuries from he had inherited, he had a disc, he had a neck and knee issues. He also was stiff or slow walk, you know. So did he do the right thing about announcing his retirement in 2025, y'all? I think he did. That man was breaking down. You know, when you out there being a wrestler and your body getting beat down, boom, bang, boom, you know what I'm saying? Whew, man, that got to be bad. And I see these women's out here wrestling, you know. And don't get me wrong now, I am a wrestling fan. Don't get me wrong. You better ask somebody. I'm very well a wrestling fan. I am. They're saying that John Cena is 48. Is that correct, y'all? If y'all know for sure John Cena is 48 years old, y'all let me know. I know he's young. I know he ain't old. I know that. I know he's a young man. Yeah. But this man has fought cancer 2 times, y'all. Twice. 2 times. Yeah. You know, his neck, his shoulder. Ooh. That says John Cena had fusions in his neck, right pec completely detached, reattached both triceps. Woo! A scope nose. He said he had about 10 physical surgeries, y'all. Oh my goodness. To go in to correct something. And he said he never taken one pain pill, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He said out of all the surgeries that he had, he never taken one pain pill. They say his body is curving over. That's what they saying. I don't know how true it is. They say it's curving over. They say it look like he's losing a lot of muscles in his arms and stuff. But 40-something years old, what can you expect? You know what I'm saying? Your body gonna start slimming down and things gonna start not being like they was when you was young. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So they said his muscle fat, is being lost in his arms and stuff. But like I said, that's what you expect, y'all, when you're start getting early at that age. Look what all this man done been through. And then there may be stuff that we don't even know about that he done been through. They don't tell us. Don't forget now, they don't tell us everything. Right? John Cena has said that he was going to retire from WWE because he didn't want to take up spots from young talents. He said he think that if he hang around any longer than what he did, he take time away from guys to make an impact, young guys to make an impact. And, I can appreciate that, John. I can appreciate that. Do y'all remember when John Cena was in the accident? When a Honda Civic rear-ended him, and then a tractor trailer had hit the Honda Civic. They ran into John Cena. Y'all remember that? Yeah. That was back in Philadelphia, y'all. I remember that. I specifically remember that. But yeah, they said now John Cena now is doing different gigs, Neutrogena, skin stuff, skincare stuff, he's making his way doing something else, that's why you see a lot of guys when they get older, they start doing commercials and people who do a lot of action pictures and stuff like that, and a lot of drama, do a lot of drama people do movies and drama and movies and action, things like that. And when people get a certain age, they find a spot just for them so they can make them some kind of income to get them out the house. And they said John Cena is doing commercials for Neutrogena. I don't know. I think that's how you say it, Neutrogena, something like that. It's some, y'all know what I'm talking about anyway. If I say it right, trust me. Google it. You got what I'm talking about. That part. So, yeah. That's what he's doing now. So, he's still making a living. He got to make a living. No matter what. He got to he got to make a living. He got to make a living. Also, they're saying that John Cena did get a hair implant. They said John Cena got a hair implant. John Cena hair was coming out, y'all. Was John Cena hair coming out? Man, if that man hair coming out, I didn't even know. He must have been coming to one side or something. He must have been coming to one side or something like that. I did not know. I didn't know. But yeah, they said John Cena hair. His original hair has been replaced. I ain't making fun of John Cena, don't get me wrong. But when they said that ninja hair, got a hair transplant, how many people y'all know get hair transplant? He must have been getting mighty thin at the top. of his head. He must have been getting thin, y'all, at the top of his head. I wonder. And they said John Cena is he walks differently now and everything. I don't know. They said he's 48 but walks like a 70-year-old man. But like I told you all earlier, they said his body is curving over. You know, I wonder why his body curving. Is it because when they had him bent up when he was doing that wrestling and stuff like that? I wonder. I don't know. I'm just asking. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I like John Cena. John Cena, oh my God. I like John Cena. I like, I can't think of all their name, but Kurt, whatever his name is. I like a lot. I like a lot of them. I watch them. My homegirl, she watch them every Monday. I used to watch them every week, twice a week. Me and my son. I love some wrestling. There's nothing like wrestling. Y'all hear me? I like wrestling, but I hope the best for John Cena as he make his way through life. You know, hopefully that the cancer won't come back, and he can concentrate on himself more. Since he's no longer doing that, he can sleep a little late, stretch a little bit more. Take his time and things like that. You know what I'm saying? John Cena did say he had a pleasure serving everybody for all those years that he did do what he did for everybody, and he had some good matches. That boy had some good matches, and he's still nice looking. When you have a man in the work industry that he's in, there's things you're going to accept, especially if you love a person. If you love them, you love them. Can't nothing compare to love, right? Right. Love is love, no matter what. He got the money to make any woman happy. If he want to make a woman happy, he can do it. You know what I'm saying? He can do that. But anyway, let's go on to the next one, y'all. But anyway, y'all, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button for a sister, please. I sure appreciate it. I appreciate it. And thank you all for coming by. Thank you very much for spending your time over at Pheno Entertainment TV. But anyway, let's get started. But anyway, Minneapolis, man. Them people went up there, y'all. Them ICE people went up there. They did a lot. Them people did a whole lot. Let me see here. They did a lot of lying. Y'all remember Trump did fire 2 of those men from ISIS. He sent them back. Well, maybe he's going to send some more back. Let me see.
By an ICE officer in Minneapolis last month sparked immediate protests. At the time, DHS said the officer fired in self-defense, hitting one suspect in the leg after they said he was attacked by multiple men.
What we saw was 3 individuals weaponize shovels and brooms and attack an ICE officer that had to defend himself.
But tonight, a stinging rebuke of 2 ICE officers from the acting director of the agency, who says they appear to have lied about the shooting of that Venezuelan man. Todd Lyons saying a joint review by ICE and the Department of Justice of video evidence has revealed that sworn testimony provided by 2 separate officers appears to have made untruthful statements, adding the unnamed officers have been immediately placed on administrative leave pending the completion of a thorough internal investigation and may face termination of employment as well as potential criminal prosecution. Julio Cesar Sosa Solis, who was shot in the leg, and Alfredo Alejandro Alhorna had been charged with assaulting federal officers. Tonight, those charges have been dropped. Tonight, an attorney for Sosa Solis says he is cooperating with an investigation into the shooting and, quote, determined to seek justice against the officer.
Did y'all hear that? They lied. They had the news line for them. They lied and they had the news line. You trying to tell me we can't trust the doggone news no more either? We already can't trust the news, but we can't really trust them. They be lying because they lying. Everybody lying. Everybody lying. Everybody lying. Everybody lying. So when they went to Minneapolis, they went there, did a bunch of lying and unaliving those people for no reason. So if they lied here and Trump got rid of two other people about a month ago, whatever, last month or whatever. I wonder, yeah, I wonder what all they done lied about, because they done did a whole bunch of lying. Because we done seen Renee Good, Alice Pretty, and these two men right here, and it's been more than that, been unalived by ICE. They're not reporting out. They only just tell us what they want to tell us and what we hear. But anything else we hear about by ICE or whatever, we go to social media and find out what the heck going on. These people were dirty. And that man did not care when he sent them out there to do what they did. And my thing is this right here. How do y'all sleep at night? How in the heck do you sleep at night? Doing what you did and knowing that you lied about what you did. How do you sleep? I know it got to be a lot of fire in those dreams. Got to be. It got to be somebody out reaching for you, and you just keep jumping back in your sleep, jumping. That devil trying to get you, bring you on in, because you are already the devil. You the little devil. They trying to bring the little devil on in with the big devil. And I could never do what they did. That was a disgrace, disrespectful. It wasn't humanity. Y'all have done a lot, ICE people. Y'all have done a lot. You done a lot. And to do what all you did, they had enough to cover your faces up, and don't want to have name badges on your vests and stuff, and you don't want to tell nobody who you are. Y'all know that ain't right. That is not right. But you have to understand, job and your self-living, two situations. When you go home, you got to worry, and you got to take them problems to your house, what you done did. That guilt, not problems. You got to take that guilt to your home of what you did. How do y'all sleep? How do you eat? How you sit around and you smile, put a smile on your face? And y'all done did what y'all did. My God. Nobody care. Y'all know what they say? Y'all hear that saying, who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? That was one of those who's gonna know. Who's gonna know that we lied? We can't tell on each other. So we got to stick together. Right? But yeah, ICE, y'all something terrible. Y'all have done a lot of damages in a lot of states. Y'all have went with the states that y'all did go to. Y'all have brought nothing but damage, property damage, city damage. Y'all brought damage. Y'all did so much damaging. And to where people had to come out and unaliving people, where people had to come out and start protesting because y'all were doing so much dirt and so wrong. You didn't go by the books. Maybe you went by the books, it'd probably been okay, but y'all didn't even go by the books when y'all was out there arresting those people. And then y'all even started arresting United States citizens. That's a crazy thing about it. Man, and you know if you're a citizen, not by the way a person talk. About their actions, about maybe the way they look, but not maybe the way they look, because my thing again, I'm going to ask you again, what do an illegal immigrant look like? Right? What do they look like? I'm just asking. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get up off here, but I want y'all to tell me in the comments, What do an illegal immigrant look like? What do he look like? And it's also ask yourself, should Project Pat get sued because he handed out godly material, prayed, and talked about the religion when anybody could get up and walk away anytime? They walk out of schools anyway. They walk out of classrooms anyway. They ain't listen to nobody no way. They either give them walk out. You know? But y'all think about that though. Y'all let me come in. Leave me a comment and let me know what y'all think about everything. The Sunday sale of liquor on Sundays, to where St. Louis dropped the ball on the figure ice skater coach who got unalive by a man who had done 2 robberies till he got to her, and it can't be a robbery and unaliving when she had told him, gave the right to give him everything, her hands up, and the ID, the social, the everything she had. Y'all know how Perk feel about people like that. No trial, that's taxpayers' money. He don't need to eat, sleep, visit, talk, no nothing. Send him straight to the chair. Go and get rid of them problems, because to me, that is called problems, menace to society. But my thing too, how many more robberies did he do before? Because they said they found 2, and they didn't realize to the 3rd incident that they all connected to him. So my thing is, how many more did he do? Anyway, cliffhanger. How the hell you gonna love somebody? You don't love yourself. Peace, and we out. Stay safe.